canción para mi gente, con una pasión tan fuerte. Ay, 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 ahora sigo cantando y sigo gozando, yo sigo cantando y sigo gozando.
Welcome back to my channel, The Baking Diva, and a big shout out to all my new subscribers. Today, as you probably gathered from my intro, not doing a sweet dessert again, I'm doing something savory. Now, many years ago, I guess it was when I was first married, that was many years ago, there was this rage of pies. They were called impossible pies. I'm not sure if Betty Crocker is the one that first put these out. I can't recall, but you found them everywhere. And they were the impossible coconut cream pies. There was the impossible taco pies. I'm trying to remember, there was so many. Oh, there was the impossible cheeseburger pies. There was so many pies. And they were so easy to make. You mixed everything up. Well, not the taco one, but the other pies, you mixed everything up. A lot of them, you put them in a blender. You whipped it up in the blender. You poured them into a greased pie plate, popped them in the oven, and the secret ingredient that they had in there formed its own little pie crust on the bottom. I guess they called them impossible pies because they were impossible to ruin. Anybody that's not a baker, trust me, this is 101 baking. You can make these. So I started making them many years ago, and they were easy to make. But one of them was a hit in my house, and it was the taco pie. Now you ask Diva, what's the secret ingredient in those pies? Now some of you that have been around for a while probably know, but some of the younger people maybe don't. And the secret ingredient in those pies was Bisquick, the Bisquick baking mix. I don't know where I put the box, but most of you know what Bisquick is. I'll insert a picture in the video just in case you don't. And when you make them and you put the Bisquick in there, while they're baking, I guess the Bisquick settles to the bottom and it makes a thin crust on the bottom. It's really hard to ruin these pies, but the taco pie, everyone in my family loves. And when you have 4 grandsons and each and every one of them loves this pie, you got to be doing something right, because there's always 1 or 2 that are so picky. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, I don't like that. I end up usually making 2 of these pies, and I'll show you why later. First of all, it's because they're gone in a flash, and there's also another reason. So, I guess you're used to eating regular tacos, and if you don't know like how they would describe a taco pie is a quick, easy meal, and it's very filling. I mean, when I make these taco pies, I put a nice salad on the side, and that's really all I need. Yeah, people put toppings on it. They put lettuce, tomatoes. Some people will throw little sliced black olives on the top. And the best thing about this pie is leftovers are great. You cut a piece of that, you pop it in the microwave to warm it up a little bit, and it's delicious. So enough jibber-jabbering from the Baking Diva. What do you say we get started? Are you ready? I'm ready. So here we go. First thing you need is a 9-inch pie plate. And I have one of my Pyrex pie plates here. And I've already sprayed this pie plate with a baking spray. You should grease your pie plate. You don't want anything to stick to it. And then you're going to preheat your oven to 400 degrees, which I've already done. Okay, the next thing you're going to need is 1 pound of ground beef and you're going to need a half a cup of chopped onions. Now I've already put my ground beef in my frying pan over there, and I'm going to add my half a cup of chopped onions to it, and then I'm going to cook it till I get the meat all browned. Now I'm working solo today. The cameraman's been busy, and he had a luncheon appointment today, so I don't have anybody to follow me around with the camera. So I'm going to go over to the stove. I'm going to brown my meat with the onion, and then I'll tell you when I come back what we do next.
Okay, so I can be innovative without the cameraman. I'm over by my stove with my iPad, and I am browning my ground beef. What you should try to do is get lean ground beef if at all possible. Now after I finish browning this meat, I'm going to drain the grease out of it, and then I will add to it 1 envelope of mild taco seasoning. That's the dry seasoning mix. If you prefer something spicier, I'll leave that up to you. But I add the mild dry envelope, 1 envelope of the seasoning mix to the ground beef, and I stir it well. So I'm going to finish browning this beef, and then I will be back over at my island to show you what we do next. Okay, my meat is all browned, and I drained all the grease out of it. Now I'm going to add my 1 envelope of taco seasoning mix, leaving it dry. I'm putting it into the beef, and I'm going to stir it well.
Okay, so I have my meat mixture all combined, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put that mixture of the meat and the onions into my greased pie plate. So far, so good, right? Very easy. Okay, just going to even that out. Push that out of the way. Oh, I don't know if any of you that are very observant, just flatten this out, have noticed, but behind me there on my counter, do you see a new gadget? It arrived yesterday. It's my new air fryer. Now all I have to do is read the directions and figure out how to work the darn thing so I can use it. But I've been wanting one for a while, and the cameraman even said to me, why don't you order it? It's a nice one. It's small, which is what we wanted, because some of them are like the size of I don't know what, and it would take up my whole counter. I have a big house, but I have a small kitchen. So we got that one, which is nice for 2 people. And if you can see it back there, it doesn't take up a lot of space at all, and it's a nice, sleek model. And we did read all the reviews on it, and they were really good. So anyway, we flattened out our meat here. Now, this is where I told you I alter the recipe a little bit, but you don't have to. Right now, at this point, you're supposed to sprinkle over the top a can, a 4.5 ounce can of the old El Paso chopped green chilies. You drain them first, and then you sprinkle them over the top. No one in my family wants the chilies on there, so I'm leaving the chilies out of the recipe. So let me just put this aside and take a bowl. In this bowl, we are going to add, let me get it out here, 1 cup of whole milk. Sometimes I'll make a recipe and I'll put whole milk in it, and people might alter it and use fat-free, and the recipe doesn't always come out that well. So when a recipe calls for whole milk, there's usually a reason for it. So I'm saying 1 cup of whole milk. We're going to add to that 2 eggs. And here comes our magic ingredient. We're adding to that, let me get it here, a half a cup of the original Bisquick mix. And I have the box here now so I can show you what it is. It's just the Bisquick original, not the low carb. It's the original baking and pancake mix. So you only need a cup of that. So in here we have that, and I'm going to take my handy dandy whisk and get this all mixed up together. This pie is really good. You will definitely like it. You should give it a try, and I don't think it's bad. I know even people that are on low carb, I mean, this basically has meat in it, eggs, let's see, wait a minute. You'll see at the end, we'll have cheese. We like to put sour cream on the top. What else did I put in here? An onion. I mean, other than that cup, or half a cup, I'm sorry, of Bisquick mix, there's really not a lot of carbs in here, so I'll leave that up to you. I want to get this all well combined. Now, what do you think we're going to do next? Very simple. We're going to take this mixture, we're going to pour it all over the top of the ground beef and onion. Did you like my mariachi dancers in the beginning of the video? I didn't have any Mexican costumes to put on today, so I said I'll entertain them with a little bit of the mariachi music. Last year, Lucas and I did a video, and I wore a taco costume. If I can find the picture, I'm going to try to insert that in the video for you too. You know I'm cray-cray. Isn't that why you watch me? Okay, this looks pretty well mixed to me. All right. So after I mix all these things together, I'm going to pour it into the pie plate. So let me bring that over here, and here we go. Just pour it evenly all around the pie plate. And this is where the magic happens. When this bakes in the oven, I think that Bisquick somehow travels down to the bottom of the pie plate, forms a crust, and you'll see when it comes out of the oven and it cools and we cut it, it's all nice and layered. So there we have that. All right, wasn't that easy? Now I'm going to put that in the oven for about 25 minutes, and until a knife inserted in there comes out clean. And then after the 25 minutes, I am going to sprinkle on top of the pie, see, 3/4 of a cup of shredded cheese. Now you can use cheddar, plain cheddar if you want. The recipe actually says you can use cheddar. You can use, let me see here, Monterey Jack, any kind of cheese you like. But I bought the bag of the 4 cheese Mexican. And that is actually shredded Monterey Jack, cheddar, and another one that I can't say. So anyway, you're gonna put this in the oven 25 minutes. Check it with a knife, make sure it's done. You're gonna take it out. You're gonna sprinkle the cheese, your 3/4 of a cup of cheese, all over the top of it. You're gonna return it to the oven, and you're gonna bake it for about 8 to 10 minutes more. And then you're gonna cool it before you serve it. But when we serve it with, sometimes I'll put out chopped up tomatoes. I might put out a little lettuce, definitely sour cream. So once I cut the nice slice of it and serve it, everyone can sprinkle their tomatoes or their lettuce or put their sour cream on top and enjoy it, because trust me, you will. So let me get this baby into the oven, and I'll take it out when it's time to put the cheese on it. Stay tuned.
Okay, I sprinkled all the cheese on top, and this baby's going back in the oven for 10 more minutes. Now look at that baby. I just took it out of the oven. All the cheese is melted on it. Oh my goodness. Let me zoom in here. Wow. Look at that. Well, I'm going to let it cool for about 5 minutes or so, and then I'll be back to do a taste testing for you.
Well, while the pie was cooling, I made another pie. So I'm going to bring them over to my son's house tonight. Lucas has baseball practice, Kyle has soccer practice, everybody's busy running around, and since I was making these pies for the video, I told them I'd bring them over and they can warm them up for dinner. So I just cut a piece of this, and even though I've had this pie many times before and I know how great it is, I thought I'd do a little taste testing for you. And in case you haven't already gone down below and subscribed to my channel, whoopsie, hit that subscribe button now and that little bell next to it, and you'll get a notification from YouTube whenever I have a new video up. Oh, so good. Last time I made this pie, my grandson Kyle, I think, ate half of it. So good. You have to make this. It's really good. It's my lunch. So, if you want to give me a thumbs up for this video, it's much appreciated. And also a comment. Did you notice throughout the whole video there was no birds chirping? Because I put little Squeaky Bird in the other room. I just took her out a minute ago to end this video, and what do you hear? Beep, beep, beep. So anyway, at least we got through most of the video without the bird chirping. So let me have a little bit more of this. Good. I'll put a few stills in the video for you. I'll put the recipe down below, and I hope to see all of you again very soon. Toodles!